here, and today we're going to talk about kid struggles being very, very real and how it affects you as parents, because that's a real thing. Okay?
So just as much as we have kids that are struggling, the parents of these kids are also struggling, and they come to us for help too. Because last night we just had a mom come in and she broke down because she's like, I'm doing everything, and I thought this is the answer, this is what I'm looking for, and then there's still struggles going on. So we're going to kind of talk about the path. That there's not only one answer today, but we've had this several times where just these complicated cases where there's multiple things causing stress on these kids and just like overwhelming everyone. And I have too much coffee. I'm spilling all over the place over here.
So one thing I wanted to say was, man, it's intense. Looking for one cure, one answer is a struggle that a lot of people have because they're looking for a magic bullet, when in reality God made the body to work properly, and we have to figure out why the body's not working properly and then empower it. And it's a path, it's a journey, and we're going to show you what that journey looks like to hopefully really connect with you guys and help you in figuring this out, whether it's kids. Well, we'll talk about this in a second, but the actual struggles are different for every parent, but the path is the same because God is the same. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we've had all different types of parents. You know, we had one who was just walking through cancer and had struggles with their kid, and that just like your own life stressors are creating like all of this intensity for these cases. And other parents, you know, we got really good progress, and they're like, oh, something happened, and then they start acting up again. They're like, what's going on here? So we know all these parents want the best for their child, and we know we do too. So how do we figure that out?
Well, so one thing to keep in mind and identify with is we see parents who have this struggle, just very similarly to what you said, but they have this struggle where their kid is having a hard time engaging in school. Will they be successful in life? Because I don't know, they can't seem to fit in at school, or they can't seem to focus at school, they can't seem to comprehend what's going on, or social settings. My kid is so full of anxiety. Will they be able to have friends? Will they be able to have a job? Will they be able to ever leave their house? Like, all these things go through people's heads. And the mom last night was bawling, crying, and this happens all the time. So this is what we want to go into. We're going to call this the path to reconnection, because what we have to do is first identify how disconnected and stressed out these kids are, your kids are, and then we want to show you the path. This is our goal as doctors at our office, is to show you the path so you can now be empowered to make the best decisions to that reconnection. So how disconnected are they? Follow that path to get reconnected. So hopefully this is a good picture. I drew it in like 30 seconds this morning, but I thought it was powerful. So right here, we start where the brain is disconnected, okay? We see that, the lightning bolts, lots of disconnection, ooh. But we start here, and our goal is this straight line back up to living that radiant life, that true, beautiful, radiant life that God created all of us, that perfect functionality, kids engaging, kids understanding, focusing, being able to sit still and listen to instruction. But what happens is, on the path to empowering the body to work properly like God created it to, this is what it actually looks like. We see engagement where the body is working better and better and better, but then we'll see little regressions so often where it dips down below. And a lot of times, if this isn't explained well, parents are like, oh my gosh, everything's going back the way it was. But no, the brain is just beginning to reorganize. And when it's reorganizing, it takes some time to actually make that shift. So we see reconnection happening, and then reorganization happening, then reconnection and reorganization. The whole idea is to keep this trend going upwards and empowering the body over and over and over and over. And if you are on a pursuit of that connection, pursuit of how to empower the body and reconnect everything, you will see your kids' quality of life just raise and raise and raise and raise. And the real key here is to not get beat up by that dip down or that reorganization process, and just power through it, because you know if you're feeding your kid well, you're cleaning up their diet, you're watching the stressors in their life, that every bit of that is not a missed answer if it didn't fix everything, right? You're still doing something that really empowers their brain, empowers their body to work better. So we just add them a little bit at a time, a layer at a time. And with chiropractic and what we do, we look and see how disconnected that sensory system is. We plug it back in so the brain has control of the rest of the body and can work properly. Because you can change every stressor in their life, but if their brain is not connected to their body and not regulating it properly, man, that is the most stressful thing for the brain ever for the kids. So I hope this path of reconnection really makes sense, and just powering through and constantly empowering their bodies and their brains to work properly. See you guys next time.